Hello, friends. I am Gaurav Tandon, Managing Director of Dreams Trade Wing, and I am genuinely honored to be able to share our science behind Dadimaa Play School's parenting of our loved young ones. There are three types of general statements made at schools by staff to the parents. Statement 1: parents are equally responsible. Statement 2: schools cannot take ownership of total child's growth or performance. Statement 3: how can one teacher focus on individual needs of all the children in the class? I'm sure most of us have experienced these kinds of statements made at schools and education institutes. These statements will always be made by those education houses where there has been no effort in understanding the child before deciding the operating system and teaching methodology at the school. Just imagine, you make the best food for the family with 2 days of preparation, and on the dining table, people just say, "Ah, nice." This would mean that while you were doing your best for 2 days to prepare that wonderful meal, you chose to make what you believed was best, but you did not care to understand what others would like to eat before you start. What has to be taught has already been decided by the central education bodies, and most institutions attempt to establish themselves unique by sharing how they are different in delivering the what has to be taught. Just one question here: how can any school or teacher decide how to deliver before understanding the fact that each individual child has a different way of learning? Using our same example of cooking food for the family, does everyone in your family likes onion in the food? Does everybody in the family like the same ratio of spices in the food? Does everyone in our family likes the same quantity of salt? Yes, they all differ in their taste and likes. Thus, in the same manner, we need to understand our children first before deciding how to deliver the education system. Dr. Yuri, a Russian child psychologist settled in America now, is known as the father of child psychology. And he states, a child's ecosystem is influenced by family attributes, neighbor attributes, and finally, school environment attributes, because these are the only three influencing elements which a child experiences. As per Dr. Yuri, family, neighbors, and school attributes create 5 influencing systems in a child's life. The first one is influence of child's parents, brothers and sisters, direct relatives, friends, etc. on the child. Second one is how each of these elements interact or behave within or with each other also has a serious influence on the child. The third one is how the environmental changes in the elements like father's promotion, loss of a loved one, social unrest, government policies, etc. have an indirect influence on the child. Fourth one is much larger, like how do cultural and religious values of the elements impact our children. Fifth one is actually the experience and impact of what the child undergoes with due course of time. Like major transactions in his life could be environmental events, graduation, marriage, job, etc. The 5 influences that we talked about will certainly impact a child's physical need. There will also be impact on child's social need. Imagine when there are friends and relatives at home in your drawing room and your child comes to the drawing room calling you again and again. What do you normally do? Beta, look, we have guests at home. Please go and play. Mama and Papa will come and talk to you later. Familiar with this statement? Has it happened before with you? As per Dr. Yuri, can you even imagine you have negatively impacted the child on being part of the group? Such small things have serious impact. As per Dr. Yuri, above all these influences, there will be severe shift in child's emotional need. This is extremely critical because if we are unable to address a child's need of emotional quotient, the child will never feel safe, loved, valued, either at home or at... Just imagine at Dadimaa, all our actions and practices for teachers and staff have been designed keeping in mind that all our teachers may not be psychological graduates. And thus, without their experience in child psychology, how can we ensure they do things in a way which address all three types of needs of our children? We all know that there are only three learning styles in the world for children. Some children learn by seeing things, and they're called visual learners. Some children learn by hearing things, and they are called auditory learners. And lastly, some children learn faster by doing things with hands, and they're called kinesthetic learners. Have you ever experienced that a child with no technical knowledge learns to operate your TV remote better than you? Have you experienced that a child who's unable to learn school essays is able to sing a full movie song very well? So, we have decided to ensure that at Dadimaa Play School, teachers will deliver the entire topics of every subject in each class with audio, video, and activity-based methods so that every child in each class experiences all three learning styles, which thus ensures we are connecting and adapting to every unique child. The big question is, how are we at Dadimaa Play School going to deliver this science? And trust me, the answer is so simple. Our values will define our delivery system. Development, care, safety, integrity, and partnering parents up. Under development, there are several activities and practices imbibed in academic, leadership, social, physical, and self-confidence building in each child. You must have heard of prefects and monitors in each class. But have you seen them wearing prefect badges in play school? Well, what did Dr. Yuri say? The child must feel valued, appreciated, and so much more. Thus, we are imbibing all that science in our actions now. Dr. Yuri asked, did you know that helping a child learn to tie his or her own shoelaces or zipping their own pants actually helps develop confidence in the child? Why can't all this be a part of the syllabus at school? Yes, at Dadimaa. Dr. Yuri, father of child psychology, says, the child must feel loved, valued, safe at school and at home to fulfill his or her emotional needs. How many play schools have you seen where at check-in time in the morning, every child's hand is held and the child is personally walked to the class with the school staff? How many schools have you seen where every child is hugged by the teacher before the child leaves the school? Which school in the country is allowing live CCTV viewing facility to parents on their mobiles or laptops or computers to actually see if the school is delivering what it promised? How many schools have minimum 7 square feet of sitting space per child in a class? How many schools have 1:5 ratio of child to activity tools? There are 3 levels of school audits. Firstly, by the school owner themselves. Then we have our state level representation, which will audit the school again, independent of the school owner. And finally, my direct audit team from Delhi will ensure that all elements of the school are always made available as per our values. I have always been amazed imagining parents paying almost 10,000 or more each year on bags, books, uniforms, pencil box, lunch box, water bottle, shoes, socks, apron, books and copies, etc., etc. Trust me, our integrity is that the child's entire years of requirement of all this is made available to parents at just 5,500 rupees. Which school in the country gives 30 minutes of extra teaching time to weaker children after school time? By the way, there are no charges for it. How many schools allow child's free transfer across India? Which means if you shift your child from one city to another and you get them readmitted in a Dadimaa school at the new town, you will not be required to purchase books, uniforms or pay annual fees again, or you will not even be required to pay the previous quarter fee. Let us be honest. Who does a child's holiday homework? Please be honest. I firmly believe it is genuinely the parents. Thus, why should we not give rewards to parents for child's holiday homework? Why should we not allow our children, parents, to come and teach our children at Dadimaa schools in music, dance, craft, and so much more before any activity in any month? What is even more exciting that hundreds of other family members of other children in Dadimaa schools will be watching this parent teach our children. How many schools have 6 types of doctors impaneled for emergency visits to school? Why shouldn't there be a Parent of the Month award in each month's PTM basis hygiene appearance of the child? Friends and parents, if any one of you were thinking that we will have a comparison between Dadimaa and other schools, then I am sorry to have disappointed you. Because all the practices that I have shared, there is not a single educational institution in the country which practices this. So there can be no comparison. I hope I have been able to share our feelings and emotions pertaining to children, and also our spirit of partnering parents in the life journey of these young ones. Thank you for watching this and giving us your time.